Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well this morning. I am up early. I didn't really sleep very well in anticipation. I am on my way to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, as I refer to as God's country. I've only been back there once since I graduated. That was twice. Once for a football game and then once for a writing conference for my wife. So I'm heading up now to Shirley Fabrication to pick up my newest addition to the Barbecue Mafia. So got the patio model actually is what it's called, 36 by 24, to add to my arsenal of goodness. So got a friend going with me today. We get to hang out a good little bit and going to see some other friends while I'm up there, but looking forward to getting it. It's a beautiful day, nice, cool, crisp. So we'll see how this goes. Y'all take care.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive. And the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel that we got something strong? And I saw.
There she is. This is the Sherry Lynn, commonly referred to as a Shirley Fabrication 24 by 36 patio model. What do you think? I'm pretty happy myself. It's a little chilly out here today. Done several cooks already. Got her all nice and seasoned. I've got a new thermometer coming. This one I've calibrated with boiling water, but it's still not accurate with the digital that I have. So I've got to address that. Nice pile of wood down here. Great big burn box over here. So today we're going to be using all this. We're going to do it a pork loin. Pork loin's pretty simple. It's a good way to get started if you're new to live fire cooking. Fairly forgiving, not a long cook. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, everybody. This is a pork loin. Not a tenderloin, but a pork loin. It's very lean. Comes from on the back of the pig, I think. Pretty sure anyway. But it's a very lean cut of meat. Doesn't have a lot of fat in it, so keeping moisture in it's going to be important. That's why I do a brine for my pork loin, sometimes my ribs, tenderloins, poultry. Simple brine, 1 quart of water, half a cup of sea salt, about a quarter cup of corn syrup for a little sweetness, and Alton Brown does the whole thing about brining and the importance of it. I really think it's a big important thing to do. You don't have to, but I have found that by brining my pork loins for about 6 to 12 hours depending, I get a really juicy piece of meat without it drying out. It takes a lot of flavor into it as well. So here you go. One Mr. or Mrs. Pig that is no longer with us. So what I'm going to do first is I've got a couple of rubs that I use. I'm going to do a show on the channel about doing rubs one day. But you know what? If you're just getting started, you don't feel like trying to figure out all the science and everything, bump it. Just go buy a nice rub. This is for Meat Church. I got this, I think, at Academy. It came with a pack of 4. This is the Honey Hog Barbecue. It's a sweet rub. Very good. This is Everglades Heat. I like this. I like to mix them, so I get a little sweet, a little heat, and you can buy rubs that already have sweet and heat mixed in with them if you want to. I don't care. Whatever you want to do is fine. Just, again, get out there. That's half the fun of it, is experimenting. Finding rubs that you've never heard of or even tried. Trying it out. If you don't like it, you know you're out anywhere from $3 to $8. So play with it a little bit. Again, I like to make a lot of my own, but I also am, fairly lazy. So I have found that somebody's already done the science and the math, and I just don't want to screw with making it, so I'll go buy it. Anyway, so let's talk about what we're going to do. I use sriracha because it gives a nice little flavor. I use it in here as a binder. Do you have to use a binder? No, some people just wet it. You just want something to make sure the rub sticks. And I like sriracha as a binder. It gives a little bit of that garlicky, sweet flavor to it. I wear gloves too because I just don't want to, I want to be careful of cross-contamination and getting things dirty. And if I can avoid it, that's fine. So when you put on your rub, don't go crazy, okay? I mean, it's pork. You bought it for a reason. You want to taste pork. So you don't have to go hog wild with it. No pun intended, by the way. So this is a little of the Everglades heat. Not too much, just enough to add a little something to it. When I did competitions, I made a lot of my own rubs. And after a while, I just figured I was spending so much time getting ready for competitions with making my own rubs, and I started experimenting with some of the pre-packaged rubs. I did fine. Again, a lot of them have a lot of this, usual suspects. You got your salt, you got your sugars, you got your chili powders, you got your garlic, onion, paprika. As some people say, paprika, but I'm not that person, because it's paprika. And there we go. Call it done. It's rubbed, it's ready. I want to let it sit a little bit, because what you'll find is as it sits, it's going to create a bit of a tacky layer on the outside, and that's what's going to help the smoke to stick. Okay, smoke flavoring is basically just particulate matter that is sticking to your meat, and that's what you want to have happen. That's where you get that smoke flavor. That's why you want to run a clean fire. You don't want a black, sooty, gray, smoky fire. You want a very clean blue smoke fire. It's clean, it has a nice flavor without being overpowering.
And the time that we share makes it all worthwhile. Got this place on our own. Do you feel like we got something strong? And I saw you walking the line, and the truth may come as a surprise. That with you I feel alive.
Okay, everybody, the smoker's up to about around 225. I've got my pork out here, and we're going to put it on. Always a good idea, because these get hot. Do not adjust the color on your set. That's blue pork. I tried an experiment. It didn't work. Don't worry about it. There we go. A good meat temperature probe is a good idea, especially if you have the ability to do remote monitoring, because I don't want to sit out here in the cold and just watch it. Okay, I'm gonna take my probe, stick it in the center. Push her in, let her go. So the meat's been cooking about 45 minutes or so. It's time to check it to see if it needs spritzing. Why spritz, you ask? Well, when it's cooking, the surface is going to dry out. And by spritzing it, you're adding moisture to the surface, which is kind of like a glue for the smoke. It helps it to stick so you get that smoky flavor. It's not adding moisture to the meat, it's just keeping it from drying out. So let's have a peek and see what we got cooking. Okay, you could use a little, so we'll just add a little water. Again, water's all I use. Some people use apple juice. Some people use other things like soy sauce mixed with water, Worcestershire. Use whatever you want. I've found that apple juice really doesn't add that much flavor to it. It's a little sweetness, but with sugar you got to be careful because it will burn and darken. I just use water. So that's what I go with. Do what you want. We'll check back on it here in about another 30 minutes. Make sure the fire is going okay. Just put some new wood on, so it's a little dirty fire right now. We've got to clean it up. Just open the dampers a bit more to get some more air to it. So we'll check back in a bit.
Do you feel like we got something strong? And I saw you walking the line and the...
Okay, so pork loin's done cooking. I didn't video taking it off because, did I mention this is my first time doing these? So anyway, excuse my dog that is whining and having a fit. Yeah. That's Riley the It's a Wonder He's Still Alive dog. So anyway, some things I really recommend that you do get is new underwear. Come here, Riley. Okay, so slight technical difficulties there. For whatever reason, the cover to our kitchen light decided to fall from the sky and go into about 9 million pieces. At which point, I may have soiled myself. Anyway, as we were talking, recommend a good knife, good gratin. Keep them sharp. You actually stand probably less of a chance of cutting yourself if your knife stays sharp than if it gets dull. So, again, back to the pork loin. Like I said earlier, you're going to get some carryover temperature. I pulled it about 147, 148. You get some carryover. I wrapped up in foil, just put a little towel thing over it. So let's see how we do here. These, cheap, get them at Sam's. 3 for like $5. I wish you could smell this. And that's going on. Okay, so now we're going to just slice it. There we go. Look at there. Sweetie, come on in a little bit.
I just zoomed it out.
Look at there. So this is what you get when you brine. You get good juice. Got some rub on it. You can see a bit of what they call the smoke ring. That is not as much smoke as it is an interaction with the salt and the meat and the heat and smoke. Okay, so like I said, see how this tastes? You got the saltiness from the brine, the rub, you got the heat, a little bit of sweet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to eat this. Stand by. Okay, so my bagel's done. I'm going to take a little butter, since the bagel's hot. Normally I put mayonnaise because I'm from the South and we put mayonnaise on everything. But while it's hot, I'm going to do that. Wife and I tested this. It's wonderful. Very thin slices. Just a couple. Put it on the sandwich. By the way, if you're curious how you can have a physique like this, I give health tips too. A little bit of Grandpa's Pride homemade sweet barbecue sauce. And you can hear the whining dog because he smells it too. And there you go. Dinner's ready. So, thanks for watching. If you would please hit like and subscribe. Appreciate it if you would. Also hit the bell and you can be notified when there's another one that drops. Again, and remember, it's kind of crazy out there. Be nice to people. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. So if you would, I'd appreciate it. Thanks. See you next time.